The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Uganda, thanks for tuning in to the Alternative Dig Talk TV. This is the Mighty Drive, and we always come in here for this initial segment of the Mighty Global News Updates, a moment where we take you through stories that are hitting headlines this morning. It is the 12th of November 2025. We thank you for being part of us. And if you are watching us for the very first time, tap that subscribe button and join thousands and tens of thousands of people who follow and subscribe to this mighty platform that prioritizes matters of national importance. Now, we are sorry for coming in a little bit late, but let me take you through some of the outstanding stories that are hitting headlines this morning. Now, following the arrest and abduction of the two Kenyan nationals who had come in Uganda to campaign for the NUP team and Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, we learned that these people had been detained by the security operatives here in the country. However, all government institutions had said they never knew where these people were, although many people were calling out the government institutions to release these people previously. But the people, including the officials in the government, the security institutions, were saying they never knew the whereabouts of these two people, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo. But recently, President Museveni came out and cleared the air, saying that they had these two individuals in detention due to President Museveni says they had come to teach Ugandans on how to do or to promote violence in their country and how to protest, that they were experts in conducting riots. And they had come now to teach the NUP team and all the Ugandans on how to riot in the country, something the president says as Uganda they are not ready to prioritize, and whoever comes in to do that faces hard time, that whoever comes to destabilize peace in the country, Uganda, has to face it difficult. And now President Museveni said they were being retained in what he termed as a fridge, that they were put in a fridge or they were detained for those charges. But following the calls from Kenya, from some top officials in the government of Kenya, President Museveni decided to now release these two back to their country. Now, several people came out to criticize the government, saying that this shows that even other people that went missing, including Sam Mugumya and John Bosco Chibalama, could also be in detention somewhere, much as the government has been denying that they don't know these people. That this is a time where Ugandans should wake up and now fight for their rights. Otherwise, the government could continue doing this if the institutions came out and said they never knew the whereabouts of these two Kenyan nationals, and now the president comes out saying they were here detained. There was the habeas corpus order that was calling for immediate release of these two individuals if they were in any government detention. But the government prosecutors said they never had these people in any detention, but now the president came in and surprised the people, saying they had them. And these two nationals say they were detained by the Special Forces Command. Now several people have come out to criticize this, saying that it shows that our country, Uganda, could be sliding backwards in terms of democracy and respect for human rights, including lawyers saying that this was done illegally because there is no known detention in the Special Forces Command, and the SFC is not known by law to be doing that. Now, that marks the end of the mighty global news updates. However, we always give you a special moment to know what happened on a day like this in history. Kenneth Rwemiremerwa, the princess, is already here in studio to take you throughout the entire mighty drive with our guests. A good morning for now. Today in history, November 12, 1974, marks a significant day in the United Nations stance against apartheid in South Africa. The United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution suspending South Africa from participating in its work due to the country's racist apartheid policies.
Business or owning land in white areas was banned. There were separate public facilities, transport and schools. Interracial marriage was banned. Many had no right to citizenship and were regarded as aliens in major cities. Instead, they were made citizens of Bantustans, homelands scattered throughout South Africa.
This move was a culmination of years of international pressure and condemnation of the apartheid regime, segregation and discrimination against the majority black population. The apartheid regime, which had been in power since 1948, had implemented a range of laws and policies designed to maintain the white minority rule and suppress the rights of black South Africans. The regime's policies were widely condemned by the international community, and the UN had repeatedly called on South Africa to abandon its apartheid policies and adopt a more inclusive and equitable system of government. Despite these calls, the apartheid regime had shown little willingness to reform, and the international community was increasingly taking action to isolate South Africa and pressure the government to change its ways. The suspension of South Africa from the UN General Assembly was one of the key measures taken by the international community to achieve this goal. The resolution suspending South Africa was passed with 91 votes in favor, 22 against, and 19 abstentions. The vote was a significant blow to the apartheid regime, which had been increasingly isolated on the world stage. The regime had argued that its policies were a domestic matter and that the UN had no right to interfere in its internal affairs. However, the UN and the international community saw apartheid as a threat to international peace and security, and believed that it was their duty to take action to bring an end to the regime's racist policies. This meant that South Africa would not be able to participate in debates or vote on resolutions, limiting its ability to influence international policy. Despite this setback, the apartheid regime continued to defy the international community and refused to abandon its policies. However, this suspension marked a significant turning point in the global struggle against apartheid. Over the coming years, the international community would continue to take action against the apartheid regime. Economic sanctions would be imposed, diplomatic relations would be severed, and the regime would face increasing isolation on the world stage. The suspension of South Africa from the UN General Assembly was just one part of this broader effort to bring an end to apartheid and promote human rights and dignity in South Africa. The apartheid era ultimately came to an end in the early 1990s when the South African government led by F.W. de Klerk began to implement reforms and move towards a more inclusive and democratic system of government. Nelson Mandela, the anti-apartheid leader, was released from prison in 1990 and democratic elections were held in 1994. The elections marked the end of apartheid and the beginning of a new era for South Africa. The country was welcomed back into the international community and South Africa rejoined the UN General Assembly. As we reflect on the suspension of South Africa from the UN General Assembly, we are reminded of the importance of working towards a world where all people can live in dignity and respect. Kenneth Rwasimira, Dig Talk TV.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes, it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is The Mighty Drive, and I am Princess Luwedde. Lilian, we're going to be delving into a sensible and crucial topic today's morning. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you that are joining us on Facebook, thank you so much. And for those of you that are joining us on our YouTube channel, which is the Alternative Digital, thank you so much for joining in this morning. Nsonga no zitandikidde mu luzungu, but anyway, mbandiza nnyo amachago olunaku olwaleero. Program The Mighty Drive tubeerawo okuva ku Monday okutuuka olwokutaano ssaawa ziba bbiri ez'okumakya okutuuka ku ssaawa 4 ez'akalasamayanzi. Twogera nsonga ezikwata ku munnayuganda asemberayo ddala, ensonga z'ebyobufuzi, embeera z'abantu, byonna tubyogerako ku programu eno eya Mighty Drive. Era nga olunaku olwaleero negatiddwako omukyalo. Manyi bwe mbeera n'omukyala mu studio amaanyi mba n'amangi nnyo olw'ensonga nti ensonga bwe ziba nga zisoosowaziddwa abakyala kitegeeza nti eggwanga lyaffe liri mu kkula. Naye omukyala gwe nina mu studios yeesimbyewo okuba nti ate akiikirira abantu ba Kampala Central mu kibuga Kampala era mu lukiiko lw'eggwanga olukulu. Njogera ku Parliament. Omukyala ono nnyali saagala ntikole mu nsobi naye bwe mba ndigezezzaako ndyogera ye Natuhwera Phionah Destiny. Anegaseko amachago olunaku olwaleero tugenda kuba twogera nsonga zikwatagana ku kibuga Kampala, especially Kampala Central. Ekyewuunyisa mu byonna talina kibiina kya byabufuzi kyajjiddeko azenga independent. Agenda kuba tubuulira lwaki yasazeewo kujjanga independent. Abamu bagamba nti politics is expensive, especially bw'obanga tolina political party ekubakinze up. As a woman, bino byonna abitunuulidde atya. But also, we would love to hear olugendo olw'ebyobufuzi. How did she start? Era inspiration eno ey'okujja okulembera abantu ba Kampala Central evaawa. What really drives her? Ebyo nno bye tugenda okuba nga twogerako today's morning. Just drop in your comments, nja kuba nga nzisoma nga show yaffe bwegenda mu maaso. So, eno Mighty Drive ku Facebook, utekamu buteesi Alternative Digital. Then YouTube, notekamu Alternative Digital, and you'll be part of the discussion today's morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Madam Lilian.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Say hello to our viewers.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure being with you this morning.
Okay.
My name is Natuhwera Phionah Destiny, an engineer. Yeah, so, yeah. And I'm aspiring member of Parliament, Kampala Central.
Kampala
yeah,
Central.
independent
Why
candidate.
Kampala Central?
Kampala Central, because Kampala is home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kampala is home. And when you have your home, you want your home to be the best. Yeah, so I need my home to be the best because it's my home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's delve into knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Natuhwera Phionah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Briefly, I think I don't have so much really about me, but I'm an engineer by profession. I did computer engineering.
Okay.
I'm really so passionate about science, mainly because I did biology, chemistry, and math at the time. So I always tell people that I'm passionate about chemistry because I like making stuff. You know, like in terms. So when I said about entrepreneurship, and I'm an entrepreneur, so there's some things that I like to make because I love chemistry. So like I've ventured into, for example, making like space stuff because I feel the need to just put it into practice because it's something I'm passionate about. But other than that, I do quite a lot of stuff as a businesswoman, from trading to real estate associate, in terms of development, housing, and then project management. Yeah, and then importantly interior design. Yeah.
You're doing a lot of things. No nyane wentandikira watufu. Naye wendagala otandikira wali ogambide nti you love chemistry.
Yeah.
Ate abamu ku ffe twali tetumwagala.
Yeah.
Okuva mu ssomero, chemistry is not my favorite subject.
Yeah.
Of course I loved biology.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, saasobola kola sciences. But how do you choose the path of doing engineering? I'm saying to be about because it is to be a fee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Ndi muntu ayagala nnyo creating impact to being practical. And of course also we're going back into your education system, like how it works, of course. Somehow it shapes us. And then of course depending on our performance,
Yes.
sometimes. So me, I was so good, like from when I was in senior one, I was so good in chemistry. Like it was my favorite. Like
Yes,
I fell in love.
easy.
Like I fell in love with,
Yes.
when you see things, actually the good thing was, like you'd live something, you see it happen. So like I love to see things happen. And so to me, it was like you're participating in something and you're seeing a result in one way or the other. And then you would see like one point leads to the other. So to me, it was really something like fun and exciting.
So mwakolanga chemical equations ezo nga teziba zibuwalira.
Yes, like to be honest, like some equations that I would do, and then even the child would ask me, how did you even come to that? But then it was really passion. So I always tell people that if I wanted to go to school at whatever age, I would just choose to do only chemistry. Only chemistry, not anything else. Yeah. And most interesting, by the way, like in my A level, I was the only girl doing chemistry in a class of like, I think we're like around 60 something boys. So I was the only girl doing chemistry. Yeah.
No,
not really. Actually, I was so simple that some people actually thought that I wasn't doing sciences. Yes, like I would text things. And you see, like also like in a toyena team, because you can like boys, they would go to the dormitories. Now okay, let's go back and revise. And then for you now, you're in the dormitory, and then everyone else you're having is not doing chemistry. And you're like, okay, let me just read my thing, and take that. So it was really slow. Like you really wouldn't think unless you go Monta Kugambie. Yeah.
If you're Nakola sciences.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. So during that time, walikom before Kulembeze?
At the time, mainly I was into religious roles, mainly. Scripture union,
okay.
Yeah, leading people, and an advisor. So I used to love more advising the students.
Usually, abana bakola sciences, you don't like crossing over to anything to do with politics. The Mwagala politics, that's the reason as to why you are going to be a dean.
No, not really. Not really. My mom was very religious. So I come from a very religious background, staunch Christian, and super committed, so I think that's why. So chavao, of course sola mama byakola, and of course abana basinga tugendera ku mama. Ngola biradala ibira ku church all the time. Like she has a profession, she was a teacher, but like ebisele bisinga agala kubera mu church no gamba. Okay, so it became passion, and then also actually religion was religious education was my favorite subject at the time as well. I remember like in our senior 4, twakola paper, and it was the most complicated at the time. But twamala kola paper ne batugamba, actually but twamala paper, even the teachers called us, ne bagamba there is a likelihood nti muyinza okkomao ne muddamu paper kubanga bawadde paper nga si yammwe. Naye nagenda ofuluma ate nga amanyi nga religious education ate nga nina mudiwa nga like I'm the one who was not really bothered. I was not at all. So it was really like it was in me, like I was doing it like freely, like nga sino cheteka konyo nti chichivira dala mutwe because twaberanga mu somero nga for example banga tebayina agenda ku preachinga era nga ndina dormitory. Now they come and look for me again, but nange twina abagenyi, the preacher was supposed to come as late, can you please step in and preach? And to me like it would just fall in, okay, let's have the Bible, let's look at any verse, please open, read, and I preach, and that would be, so it was like really easy and flowing. Yeah.
Oh wow, ebyo byonna biva mu ssomero. Osalawo dino gantoke kati ngenda kubeera engineer. Oba kyava buto? Not really.
Not really. I had wanted to be in the medical field. That's why I told you I did biology, chemistry, and math. When I finished A-level, but then at some point some things happened. So which I don't want to discuss more in detail because it was, it will make me emotional, so I don't want to go that side. Yeah, so then I had to do computer engineering because it was what was readily available because I got it on a scholarship. So because anything medical, I was supposed to pay for myself. And then the tuition was so high. So what happened was I got, you know, you can actually do telecom. So they gave me telecom because the university they gave me was, so they had only major 2 courses which were taking in like science. And because I had like, you know, done physics so well and, you know, had math and stuff, and, you know, so they said, okay, so please, you know, the only courses I would choose was telecommunication and computer engineering. And then I look into telecom, I'm like, oh, okay. No, I'm better off with computer engineering. Yeah, because, you know, at least I tried to research and do whatever. And then we met, so the time we had so many Korean teachers, that's the advantage we had, lecturers. So we got a chance to talk to them, you know, they're guiding us and saying, please, this is okay, much better. I'm like, okay. So I'm better off with computer engineering. So that's how I find myself doing computer engineering for my 4 years. And yeah, and I did so well. I had my first class degree in computer engineering. Yeah. And here you are. And here I am. Transitioning from the profession now to politics. Yes. How does that come about? I was a guild speaker at school, at the university. And then botoka ku university. I was really naenga sichamanyi like obukulembeze bw'essomero like it's to me like it was not chamanyi nyo like anyway olaba okay nangamba bwe nabera mu leadership za really kubera class monitor or class monitor. I know yeah I know. So I was, by the way, I was a class monitor in senior 1 I think until senior 3, and then a class coordinator, not until they removed me because I mean my class chair yagamba nagamba no okusinzira cho byokola because I'm sorry but I was always the first in class from my senior 1 until senior 3. So class chair nagamba no sagala bine bintu bigendemu bijja kusumbwa manya wandika eyayombe mu kibiina manya tulina ko committee yago ndi kati ngatagala mbigendemu nangamba okay just bive mubireke waliwo ababisobola nenga still era nalinga sibigenda munayenga of course this potential nagamba rush to genda ne forcing and forcing. There's a time bebangamba nga besimbi abana ne bagenda through the vetting process ne batayita mu head girl kati so abana ne bajanga bana the former head girl nangamba singa wesimba uchangu because so but rush to byagala nengamba no sagala kudidinga too much moving out of school okola chi. So I'm someone who likes my space nze njagala nyo to be laid back and do my things ngamba kati ngenda kubera tenga and forced okola kino nechiri ngamba no fine. But when I was at university I was a guild speaker and member of parliament. I mean, of course, for the Guild Council at my school for my faculty. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
So that's when you transition, knowing your politics.
Yeah.
Olo campus Luwedde. Tuvuddeyo myaka gise. I don't know how many years.
Oh, many years, by the way.
Okay, kati mu national politics.
Yes.
Otandikidde wano ku kifo kyo member of parliament
Yes.
oba back then?
No. This is my start.
Oh, this is your start. Ngotandikidde waggulu.
Yeah, I'm always aimed for very great things. I've never done something small in my life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Tolotangako nti weesimbyewo ku council oyagala kino na kino.
No, my potential is much more than that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wasalawo olumbe wanene.
Yes.
Olumbe ku kifo kya member of parliament.
Because byendaba byensobola. Yeah.
Zile nevaawa, inspiration enevaawa, oba passion eno okuvuga okutwala ku kifo kino evaawa.
Inspiration okusingira ddala eva ku responsibility. I believe anti ng'abantu abakuze bova mu ssomero n'obubongize nga tukuze tulaba it's a responsibility of someone.
Okay.
So njagala nnyo okweteekako obuvunaanyizibwa. Nti buvunaanyizibwa bwaffe okubeera abakulembeze oba okukulembera abantu. Era kyekisooka. Ne passion and love for my country. I love my country. My country is home. There is nowhere I will go, no matter how I claim. I will not be. I can be there, I can have other citizenship, but no matter what, home will be home. Okay. So I'm driven by passion for the love for my country, and I would want better for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kampala munene, ainamu divisions 5. Tuna Nakawa, Makindye.
Yeah.
And then you decide ngenda mu Kampala Central.
Actually, Kampala it's Kampala Central. So Kampala Central in 20 parishes. Ezilimu Kololo, Nakasero, downtown, these areas endala as well as Kagogobe, Bukesa. So yeah, so awo makatao. So ensonga lwaki nsala mu Kampala Central. It's so big. Nayenga Kampala yewanirire eggwanga lyaffe.
Okay.
Kampala Central. Naye nga wolabira ddala nti ye economical hub kyenyinza okugamba.
Central Business District.
Yes.
Ye ntabiro yebyefuna by'eggwanga.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so nti esente endala ezigenda mu bitundu ebirala zisookera waneeno. Bwe mulimu institutions ezisinga Parliament, State House,
President Agina Kasero,
banking institutions zone ezisinga ez'amaanyi ziri waneeno, businesses, everything starts from here. So naye ngeno genda okulabira ddala representation eriwo kusinziira its contribution temala.
Honorable Muhammad Nsereko
Temala,
okay.
To me, there is much, he has done what he has done. Now there is so much more that we need. When you achieve, you don't stop. You keep on adding because it's growth.
Yeah.
Growth is stopping. And the growth of the nation, again, paka. Tekuliko webatuka, olaba ne kati China, ezikuze zigamba, era tushayagirira ddala economy yaffe trillions zimeka nayo twagala kati ziberewo eziti ne US yokegamba no, we are still growing we are trying this and this to make sure the economy growing. So tekuliko growth ekoma. So he has done great, but I believe there is so much as well that is untapped.
Okay, so otambudde mu kibuga Kampala. Tuziringe down to Kampala Central. Bintu kibe watuna noga nti okay, I think bine bintu byetaaga okukolebwako they've not been addressed ngabo birina okubeera nga bi addressingibwa.
First and foremost ngabo nkugambye okusinziira Kampala being the heart of the nation.
Yes.
There is a face everyone has to see, at least for Kampala Central, which we don't see. Why? Because bwolabira ddala parts za Kampala nga bwe nkugambye eyina sente zisinga weziva.
Okay.
Wogenda okulabira nti parts ezisinga 70 or more than 70% ziri slum areas.
Olwo togedde ku Kamwokya,
togedde mu industry area, togedde ku Bukesa, togedde Kagugube,
wonna ghetto.
Yes.
Okay.
Ate nga ghetto embi ddala. Naye nga eyo ate ye Kampala Central. Now genda kulabira dala parts ziri Kampala Central. The areas like Nakasero, Kororo. Zino ze parishes ezaaliwo in 1960s. Actually, Borabira Dara Kororo came into place like in 1940s, even before independence. Because bano ba colonialists bebali babera ne chiefs and kings, of course, abantu abayina ebitiibwa by then were in leadership. Abwe Buganda bali mu buyinza, of course, much as they were used by the colonialists, abali mu buyinza. Ne bwe babeeranga mu areas zineeno. So n'olabira ddala nti ye area yokka from that period, 1940s or 1960s, okay, let's say 1960s, from independence up to now, we don't have any other parish. Mu Kampala Central makati ekuze. At least ng'esobola okubeera ng'etuuse kumpi ne zino two, Nakasero and Kororo. We are having neighborhoods endala ziri mu kuvaayo kati zino zimunyonyo muyenga zakajja right now. Zakajja now. Katora abantu, they are even much more pushing, going much more outside, abandoning the city. So olabira ddala nti the city is neglected. Representation ya Kampala kusinziira its contribution in terms of businesses, in terms of taxes, because businesses singa ziri wano mu kibuga. Abantu abebwera basooka tebasosola na misolo, but KCC weregenda, I mean ne URA, at least eyitamu basuubuzaawo, you must pay. Those people are paying taxes. They're paying a lot of money. And those people cannot stay very far. Abasinga bagala kubeera mu kumpi, because you know our transport system is so bad. So, no olabira ddala nti, yes, these people are putting in a lot. People are correcting from them a lot. But at the end of it all, what are they actually getting from it? The image of Kampala. If you bring someone, because if anyone comes into the country, agamba Kampala, otukira Kampala.
Because it's a capital city.
It's a capital. Buli omu ajja, even if you're coming from Nairobi, ne wano kumpi, African countries, of course, nava mu other nations, Europe and whatever, Asia, when they come, basokera wa Kampala as a base. Then they spread out later on. So, but the representation of the city itself.
Downtown.
Exactly.
Yes.
And now what is happening is people in downtown, I sometimes feel sorry for them because I like going downtown to shop and do stuff. Sometimes I reach there and I feel so bad. I'm like, okay, if it were me having a business here, how would I feel? Why? The congestion is too much. That the only person, I think the competition actually bagamanti olaba in other cities, the higher you go on the building, the more expensive it gets. Why? People are selling the views. Kati osobola okulabira eri n'olaba eri.
Ekibuga Kampala oba okiraba.
Exactly. Naye kati waneeno, the lower you go, the more expensive.
Njali ku ground floor asasula sente nyingi n'okusinga ali waggulu.
Yes. Kubanga kati baganda ali waggulu tekuli agenda kumulaba. Because akavuyo kangi tomanyi n'ebiriyo kati buli omu alwanira okukola ki? Okubeera wansi wakira abayi
amadala because temuli lifts.
Temuli lifts. Nekirala tolabye akavuyo kangi. You know, sometimes when you see saying, oh Kamba, you know there is a business here, but because of the kavuyo and then you're under tension, probably they will grab my bag and they will like everyone seems like to be rushing to get to where they are going. So then you know, you're like, are these people actually making business? And at the same time, and like when you see like how everyone is literally crowding on the road, you have someone who is paying 2 million, 3 million for a shop, for example. And you're having someone, and please quote me right, it's not that I'm against anyone, but business or abatembe, not at all. But then in the indoors, kati then you're having atenga abayitirivu lyo majjude ku mulyango okitegeera kati osanga atubagamba ne bali abatusasula rent maybe bakola ne sente singa okukola ki okutusinga atenga tusasula rent tusasula n'emisolo tusasula bine sente z'okucollectinga kasasiro and what we have so many expenses.
Abatembeine bano abamu bagamba ebintu bye batunda ate biva mu maduuka ab'omu maduuka be babibawa. Complaining.
Exactly. Naye nga kakati olaba ow'amaduuka abeera nga talina alternative. Ng'agenda tuula mu dduuka lye, rent bamubanja, omusolo bagwagala, ebintu bye bigenze ku URA emmala y'emyezi egyo 3. Jojoka oba n'okusinga. clearance nga tebinabeera cleared.
Yes.
Kati n'agamba kati ntuule wano n'ebintu ndidde akabanja ke nkozesa. I'm having a loan. Agamba you know what? Maybe bwe nfunayo abaana babiri ne baddusa ebintu. Maybe ngamba munange bw'otwala charger ya 15 bw'ogitunda kakaaga nze ekomezayo 15 zange. But it's not supposed to be like that. Kati kikwagira ddala nti abantu tebakyayina ne alternative.
Okay. So omanyi tutandikidde nati mu nsonga za byabusuubuzi bw'okwogera ku kibuga Kampala we tutandikidde. Go to the political side of it. But ensonga z'abasuubuzi nini era ekibuga Kampala especially Kampala Central ebyobusuubuzi nga tugambye mu bitambulira era y'entabiro y'ebyobusuubuzi mu ggwanga. But according to you ebintu abasuubuzi bebemulugunyaako especially emisolo wano badde bemulugunya badde bekalakasa lwa musolo gwa kilo wabateereddwako. Do you think they have valid reasons okuba nti bekalakasa? Because bw'otunuulira eggwanga lyaffe Uganda economically tukyakula era ensimbi ekitongole QRS kisolooza okuva mu misolo oba oliawo tezinnatuuka ku sustaininga budget yaffe yonna okutwaliza awamu. Ate tulaba abasuubuzi bemulugunya ku musolo ogwa kilo naye nga ne gavumenti etunuulidde kuba nti ebaako ssente zeekuŋŋaanya. Do you think they have valid reasons okwekalakaasa?
Yes, they do. But most importantly, nga tetunagenda ne ku misolo. You know, we have to acknowledge one thing. Tekuli eggwanga erikula nga tekuli misolo. That's one thing for sure.
Yes.
That even some countries which have tax rates are even much higher. But they're not complaining. You know why? They're getting something in return. There is accountability. So togenda kusigala ng'ogereka emisolo each and every time. Nenga this person in return taina kyafuna. Taina naraba ne sente zemu collecting azigenda wa. Infrastructure mbi, services mbi, ne institutions nga URA. I've been in town, have so many friends nga bayina amaduuka. I was at a friend's shop. Ngagamba, you know what? Nine gonde ebibadde bijja my the luggage that was coming. Nagamba yatuuka waneeno emaze emyezi 6 nga teli cleared. Emyezi 6. Emyezi 6 ng'emaali yetudde wali eri.
Bamuwa ensonga lwaki tebiri cleared?
And of course, process basigala bakugamba beera wano tuli mu clearinga kino tuli mukola kineeno. But it spent 6 months. Bwe byamala okufuluma bwe biti ne bituuka wabweru. Yali ku motoka zina ali ku dduuka. Oli eyali abireeta n'amukubira essimu n'agamba kaakata ate mukuba wano banyimiriza banjagalako ssente n'agamba lindako. We've cleared, we've paid everything. So what do they want? Agamba era kati era baagala ssente. N'abagamba mbalaze rusiti ne buli kimu kyonna ne still baagala ki? Baagala ssente.
Ezo zonga baagala zaaki? Ng'ayina buzibu ki?
Anti bayina bye beekwasa. Anyway, saagenda in too much details. Naye ng'olabira ddala nga anyiize nenga amasigena namubuuza n'agamba ofulumya n'ebintu osasudde okoze clearance ebintu bimaze a long time ate n'ofuluma n'ebweru n'olee ddala akwagalako ki? Akwagalako ssente. So ensonga ne bwe tutagenda ya tax, I know people are hurt. Naye nga ekintu ekisingayo okubanyiiza gy'emisolo gye tubaweereza gyo gikola ki? Ye most important question. Kale mutunyigiza mwagala emisolo gikola ki? Infrastructure mbi, obuchafu bungi mu kibuga, drainages tezikolebwa, there is no any proper system eri okumanaginga trash mu kibuga. Eyavaako incident yabeerako ekitezi. Because that trash asinga va mu Kampala. So asinga va mu Kampala because aba consuming a lot. Nenga nothing was done. We've moved past by the way kitezi. We've moved on and people lost their lives. So many of them. But we've moved past it.
Lives and property.
Was there any compensation? No one knows. So we've ignored the most critical things. People are not benefiting. So you see now, people are losing their things. Then what?
Someone was saying, nti ebyo nebyo mwala. Omugagga hamsi yaleeta enkuba. Era ne babuuza enkuba bwe badde ng'etonnya badde nga tetawaanya basuubuzi obanga amazzi gagenda mu maduuka gaabwe and all that. Aga nti kino kyakwekwasa bwekwasa.
Yes. By the way, sina buzibukwam because I don't know how they structured their things because I'm not in the room where they discuss whatever they do. But my main concern is, before even we look at harm, we need to look at intishine chibuga. Chirude gachi flooding. Bafunye monga bwe catalyst. Umanyi catalyst, something that speeds a reaction. Katufunye match speeding a reaction ntama atali mukuzimba. Kati chone changu ya nnyo. Kati nechibiranga kyekubye mu maso g'abantu. But we've had so many areas. Which one? Baise.
There's flooding.
So many areas flood. Ne mutawo nobadi wa flooding. Naye kati this time around
katono ng'ekibuga tokyasobola.
Nga tokyasobola kutambula. Twalabako ne wano kugonda ekololo. A forest mall. You remember that time when we are flooding wonna. So flooding has been happening in the city.
Okay.
There is no proper plan or proper planning for the city. These drainage channels and never planning. So me actually the problem that I have is you're telling people URA is collecting taxes from us, so much money, and then at the end of it all you're telling them, please, we cannot actually afford okuzimba omwala tulina okufuna investor jakolechi so bobanga tosobola
omuntu bwaba yeewaddeyo ng'alina enkulaakulana gy'ayagala okuteeka mu kitundu.
Ndowooza sikwewaayo sirowooza nti yavaayo n'agamba kankole kino sikwewaayo waliwo ebintu gavumenti byeyina okwetegereza nti bintu byayongayo buvunaanyizibwa bwayo kati kitegeeza nti oli mukungamba nti kati buli omu alina okuva yagambe kale nze mumpe omwala guli eri mumpe omwala guno eno mumpe omwala guli eri because you see what happens in the wrong run. I've had, for example, comments from people nga bali bagamba baali bagulawo kozi wanene amu balina ebyapa so bali bagamba kozi nage owningawo katate oli atandise katate ye ownership agijewa ko tosobola kutandika kuzimba in real estate tosobola kujja kutaka lya muno notandika okuzimba ntulako wayina esente ngenda kuzimba.
Okay.
Katoyina abantu abagamba tuyinako ebyapa tuyinako ownership bazimbe kati fe batulesewa compensation eriwo batoyenge ekinze so ye challenge eriwo nti tekuliko proper plan nti government is showing them bokera kumacha no gamba nti we are collecting taxes and here but we have this tuzimbe guno omwala bagenda gamba at least tutafuna amazaga tuyingirira at least neka tinashati chiriwo bagamba ne sente ezikola omwala teziriwo tuyina investor agenda kola ki ku investing omwala in return tujja kumuwa ekintu kineno okitegeera so botogera kumwala I know there is so much behind it, the technicalities, I mean whatever that we might not understand.
Okay.
But at least tugenda kwogera ku byetulabako because now there is information all out there. Information weli tugirabawo bolabira ddala design y'omwala from the beginning nolabira ddala ne kiri mukolebwa kiringa ekyayawulamu kiringa ekiri different naye nga tugenderawo naye ogenda okulaba ebbaluwa nga bagamba okay kata azimbye naye kata ati sente zagenda zifuna atya kati we tugira n'ogamba kakati ataddemu sente ze naye kakati okugyamu esente ze ateekeko amaduuka afunemu kati kifuuka development oba kifuuka ebyanfuna.
No, chiri wakati. But anyway, let's go in for a very short commercial break. When we return, twagala of course tusigalenga twogera ku nsonga z'ekibuga Kampala. Is it politics at play? Oba waliwo ebintu ebikusike byetutanaba kubanga tupengako attention. Omulamwa gwaffe ogw'olunaku olwaleero tuli mu kwebuuza mu kalulu kano ke tulimu. Is it excitement oba abantu saawa zino bali mu kuwuliriza message eva eri abakulembeze wenjogerera abakulembeze okuva ku government abesimye okuva ku bifo by'obukulembeze ku government ez'ebitundu n'obubaka bwa parliament batandise kakuyege waabwe okuba nti baswaggula obuwagizi okuva mu balonzi mu bitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo. Twagala okuwulira okuva gyali ye campaign ye yagitandikidde luddawa ye abafe manifesto ye yagipakeginzeemu kibintu kyebyo ebiri mu manifesto ye bitetaga okubanga tuwulira. Ndino omugenyi wange Natuhwera Phionah yesimbyewo okuvuganya ku ntebe ey'omubaka wa parliament owa Kampala Central. Ali Arona tugambye nti waliwo ebikoleddwako mu Kampala Central. However, techimala. There is a lot that needs to be done. It's still the Mighty Drive. Drop in your comments. Ngenda kubanga nzisoma masawa yafe eyokubiri. Good morning.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tolly man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, recorder. Do you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital.
Hey Teddy, have you noticed how little attention science and health issues get in the media?
Totally. Edgar, yet science information is very important.
Yeah, for sure. That's why the Health Journalists Network is here.
How can they help?
They are a group of journalists dedicated to advancing public understanding of healthcare issues through impactful reporting on health and science.
Oh, really?
Yes. They meet up every month with scientists and researchers, policymakers, and activists at the Science Media Cafes. They then relay what they discuss to the public.
Does that benefit us?
Oh yes, very much so. This helps with health and science literacy for a healthy Ugandan society.
Okay. I love getting informed about science and health issues. Health information makes all the difference between life and death. I'll look them up and engage them.
That's great. They are based all over the country.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, and they should be making real impact.
They are empowering health communities through journalism. Journalists can save lives just like doctors.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Wewa kulika nyo mukumula moko program echali ya Mighty Drive nzeo mombeja Luwedde Lilian eranga mu studios negatidwa kwa mgenyi wange olna kulwalero bwe okebera ku mikutu jimugatta abantu especially ku Facebook yateka ko that title nti Honorable Natuhwera Phionah. So akakasa okuba nti agenda kukiikirira abantu ba Kampala Central mu parliament. Ekifo kino kirimu mkulu Muhammad Nsereko newankwadenga this time round yasalawa stepping it down okubanga ate yesimbawo ku ntebe enene ewa president newankwadenga akakiiko k'ebyokulonda teyasobola kubanga ate akamatiza n'ebyo bikaali kasabye okuba nti asobola okuyitawo naye nno ajja kuba tubuulira lwaki yasalawo kugenda ku direct seat. Abakyala tebatera nnyo okwagala kugenda ku bifo ebyo. Wesanga nti abamu baagala basigale wano ku kifo ky'omubaka omukyala akiikirira constituency oba abantu mu kitundu ekyenjawulo. Lwaki yasalawo ogenda ku direct seat? Ali Arona tugambye nti yaloota binene naye nno ajja kuba bitubuulirako mu maaso awo. Ekirala kyenjagala okuwulira okuva gy'ali kwe kumanya ye ku mirimu kugimu ku mirimu gy'omubaka wa parliament amaanyi ge gali luddawa. But before that njala tuwuzika ensonga y'ekibuga Kampala. Tutandikira ku nsonga y'abasuubuzi era nga tutunuulidde the economic bit of it. Of course Kampala Central bwe tujyogerako twogera ku bitundu nga Kamwokya, twogera ku bitundu nga Bukesa, twogera ku Nakasero, twogera ku Kololo, Kagugube. Ojja kwesanga nti ebitundu bino mulimu abavubuka bangi newankubadde nga abamu ku bo tebalina mirimu. Ye mu manifesto ye ya packaginga munchi era munaku 10 singa abanga alondeddwa ku kifo kino biki byayagala okubanga atandikirako. Ebibuuzo nsaba mbiteeke mu comment section ku pages of Alternative Digital, ku Facebook, YouTube, tuli live. Teka indowooza yo bateka yo comment yo nja kubanga ate ebyo byonna mbisomera omugenyi wange gwe nina mu studios olunaku olwaleero. But I would love to pose this question to you. Some people say, or some critics say, Kibuga Kampala, it's politics at play. A reason as to why tukyalaba nti ekibuga ne bwe kyali badde kikulaakulanyizibwa abakulembeze balemesa nnyo enkulaakulana eno. What do you say about this?
Yes, it's true by the way, and but kyonna kisinziira ku systems eziri in place. Okay. So of course it's bureaucracy. We have so many institutions nenga falling under one thing, nenga zona zino taking a decision. You get what I mean? Okay. So nti ogenda sanga nti decision ya waneno okuyisibwamu kuyita mu offices 20, and that's why we actually even have corruption. So the bureaucracy is too much. And so of course when you have so many channels kuyitamu kiyinza okubeera nga temugenda kusacha ekimu obanga oli alina interests ze oba alina endowooza ye kati nekidelayinga ki processes. So bureaucracy mungi era yaleetera obuzibu in making sure things are delivered. Okay.
Yalemeseza ekibuga Kampala okuba nti kikulaakulana. Let's now cross over to you deciding to run as an independent candidate. Olwo toke ku mulamwa gwaffe ogw'olunaku olwaleero. What made you decide to come as an independent? We have a lot of political parties. Is it registered? Era nga zonna zisimbyewo ba candidates ku mitendera egy'enjawulo. Why did you decide to come as an independent?
Thank you so much. One of the major reasons is democracy. If there is any purest form of democracy is being independent, having an independent mind. That's 100% if you're independent. And when you look at our political parties right now, there is no independence. Independence in the word of it, that you have your own independent mind, you have your own ideas you bring into this party, and then you can thrive and grow. So to me, it's really more about the unity. So there is so much divide in these political parties. We've all seen them. So much fights internally. So you're saying if you're fighting internally, then how are you going to grow the nation? Are you going to reach there and agree at the same time? Definitely. It will be hard. So there's so many fights inside. Nga omuntu aina fresh mind. You don't want to start on a bad page. So I think ogenda kulabira ddala nga page gy'ogenda otandikirawo. Ogenda tandikira kukulwana entalo z'otamanyi. Ate saagala ddala entalo ze zitamanyi.
But most independents wesanga nti bali NRM leaning.
I think it's not true because twina independents of different kinds. Twina independents abavaayo abali mu political parties ne bagenda through the internal processes is our political parties. Okufuna cards, NRM zalina primaries, other parties zalina own systems ezakozesa okunoonyaamu abantu. So we have those nga bavaayo ate kikulagira ddala nti there is a problem because people are not trusting the results ezavaamu. Because bw'ogenda okulabira ddala nti if you trust the process and you trust your party, oli bw'aba awangudde aba awangudde. Because bw'amwe mwesimba abantu 10 si buli omuntu agenda kubeera namba emu. Naye nga bw'olabira ddala abo abaavaayo kati eyinza okubeera nga si independence kubanga olwedde wali mu kibiina ate yono okoze eki kiringa ogezaako okudefyinga the results ezavaayo. But we have people yagamba no, I prefer not to be in any party.
You don't want to associate with any political party.
I prefer to have an independent mind. So these people of demo, for example, of demo NRM, because Nalabako even His Excellency, the President of Uganda, telling people in his party Nagamba, those who feel intibaba cheating on primaries, you're free to come in as independent. So that person was already had a family, was already in NRM. Definitely, even if you never were independent, agenda kusigala muchibinachi, yavayo rakobati yakirize byakolachi, ebyavamu, nenga otherwise achayeri. But you have those few. Example myself. From the very beginning, I don't have any party that I've aligned to or even expressed any interest in. So I have an independent mind. I'm happy to work with whoever, because you see, even to be a party, everything is wrong.
Okay.
Naeka kati parties that tulimu shiringa, everything has to be wrong or has to be right. So if you're in NRM and someone suggests something from FDC, it's wrong because they're in opposition. If NRM suggests something because it's the ruling party or by a party Mbuyinza, it's wrong because Baba Mbuyinza for so long. So kati tulimu mwecho. Kati then not ignoring the main key points as in October gwanga mas.
Nate ne mu parliament ba independence temu influencing nnyo chamani. Because NRM has the numbers, the other side. Neweza nganti nemba independence, like I said, mulimba NRM leaning. So ensonga bwebanga ya kuita, nabo ne basala ne bada this other side. And then we have the opposition, of course bebatono, naye ate nabo balina side yabwe gye batuulira, we baba batuula begattira wamu nga opposition. And then we find independence nga mulina mpawengwa. Temuli this side, you're just there.
I think that's still even where we have a problem. That's why actually even I find so wrong with the parties. And tebasalamu rwakusalamu nti the thing is good. Chino china chutugatako basalamu rwakuba ngwa mu kibiina. And it's not supposed to be like that. So the parliament, once you combine, temuchabera mu bibiina. Bwe mutuuka parliament mubeera one nation.
Of course you follow what the party says.
Exactly. But if there is a bill, for example, the bill is like, okay, we need to change education system. It should not be, okay, opposition is an opposition, whatever. Is this thing taking us ahead? That should be the conversation. Chitugasa. Chirunji, discussing mutya. Neka chiringa biru bwejanga bweri, if it has come from the government, which is from the ruling party, then it must go through because it has the numbers, whether it's good or wrong. Then if it has come from the opposition, then it doesn't have to go through because the numbers are then small. Then which makes us, at the end of it all, who loses? We're the Ugandans. It's not the party. So the issues, we need to look at the issues of Uganda. The issues of Uganda are not partisan issues. Ati chechizibu chetusanze nti kati ebizibu bya Uganda tubitadde mu pate.
Okay.
Kati ekizibu kya Uganda kiri pate. Twafunye obuzibu fete twagize tebatuwuliriza. Naye nga at the end of it all, ababeera affected, it falls back to us, the citizen.
Do you have issues with political parties?
Me, myself. Me, myself, I mean, I have a few. It's not that I hate political parties. I absolutely have no issues with them. But some things that you see, the ideology over the aspect of creating a nation is a gestalaba mu parties zino. That's the only problem.
Obuzibu buli ki mu parties zino?
Obuzibu ndowooza buli ku interest. Obufuzi tubufudde nnyo kintu kya byanfuna. It's about money. It's no longer about the nation. Chirinze infuniramuwa, infunyemuchi as quick as possible. So your biggest challenge eriwo. Nti kakati bagenda kusooka balabye okustructuringa parties zabo okubeerawo obulungi nga tebanalaba abantu wansi. So nti kakati eggwanga tuliwawuddemu emirundi esatu. Tuyina the people as one nation. Tuyina the parties as a sub-nation, and tuyina the government in Buyinza as another nation. Kati ye challenge eriwo. Kati buli omu alabira ddala nteeke side wa. Nenga the main aim yandibadde tuteeka waneeno tudizaawa eggwanga. So the whole issue of the national importance evuddemu mufuzi bw'eggwanga. That's why into you see what people get out of parliament, to be honest. Chenyamiza. Of course, the whole sum sense that we now it's not a very big percentage. Ogenda sanga te wana percentage emu ngoje ko nezi nemisana ngozije ku okay when you based on the economy on our GDP ugamba okay bwenzija ko ngo baze bano bonna it's something so huge. It affects 529
MPs.
It's 529 and this time around I think there are more.
But
the positions they're adding in more positions. And my problem is now bali delivering ate you're still creating more people. Create more expense.
You want to go to parliament.
Yeah.
Earlier on Ogambia and Tebyobufuzi Katibidi driven by self-interest.
Yeah.
No more to chafunamo. And parliament etamingiddwako financial quantity ya transaction.
Yeah.
Transactions zigenda maso.
Yeah.
How are you going to maneuver mu kiseera ekyo?
I believe in integrity. Because we're not going to change this thing at once and for all. But I believe if you can have few credible people, they can create an influence. So we need to look at the kind of leaders that we have. People are looking more at onoyani ajatuwa chi, ayimirira kuchi avawa, ali mu family chi, ali mu kabira chi, ayimirira mu kibina chi, whatever wano just take away. But people are not doing the assessment to send integrity and diplomacy in parliament to represent the nation. So what are the
is it that you candidates abavuddeyo babeesowoddeyo kwesimbawo nammwe temukyaseeringa manifestos bintu bya vibe and excitement?
It's very unfortunate because when you look at Kampala ndowooza abasinga, and I'm glad I did my first campaign the other day when we started on Monday in Bukesa. So of course, you've planned how you're going to do things, but when you actually look, bw'otuukayo ng'oli muntu ng'ayina endowooza, ng'olina akantu k'obuntu, tosobola na kuteeka excitement. For what purpose?
Okay.
The level of living is so terrible. Even terrible is an understatement. Abantu bali bubi tebalina kyakulya. Otuuka mu area abaana bali mu babiyita busharia buno bwe bateekako obuti ne bateekako entundubaale nga wasulamu abantu nga 20 men, women, children, all mixed, mattresses on the floor. Nga tebalina kyakulya. Naye ng'obwana nabwe buto obuli mwezi n'ogamba kati excitement. What has excitement brought us? And then what entertainment do you have to give those people? Otuukayo n'owulira ddala n'ennaku ng'ekukwata ogamba, do I really need to be excited here? For what purpose?
Naye ate mu ggwanga lyattu Uganda mbadde mu trend ey'okulonda wave. Nti wave yeriko bakugambye wano wolaba kino tiking oba wolaba simba eno tiking.
Exactly, and that's why I have a call to the people, and I need to blame the government as well. I'm going to blame the government. When you look at our constitution, I think it has something to do with civic education. That's in our constitution. And there is a huge budget for that. So there has not been...
And that's the role of the Electoral Commission.
Yes. There has not been that. There has not been that. So it's Article 4 of the Constitution is promotion of public awareness of the Constitution. People don't know the Constitution, don't know what their obligations are, don't know what their power is,
and don't even know what their role is.
Exactly.
But do leaders know what their role is when it comes to civic education?
So, the whole thing, because the leaders come into office through the people. Even if you stand here and you have as great ideas as whatever, and you're not voted, it doesn't mean anything. So that means the decision and the power is within the people, as the Constitution says. But do the people put their power to purpose? So I think if these people are educated to understand what they really need, I think they would put the right people to represent them. and which I believe we have the worst representation in this country.
Tuyingirako mu manifesto yo.
Yeah.
Mu manifesto yo mulimu ki? Do you have concrete policies oba mu manifesto yo mulimu bisuubizo? Because wetuli mu kaseera kano ebisuubizo bingi nnyo n'okusinga manifestos.
Yeah.
Tetuli mu kuwulira policies, abamu bali mu kutuwa bisuubizo. How is it when it comes to your manifesto?
Yeah, so I'm going to take you, at least I'll give you a few pointers of what really lies in our manifesto. So, Botulira in Egwanga, and mainly Kampala Central, which I'm looking for to represent as the economic hub of the country, as the engine, or what I would call the battery. I would call it the battery because olaba motoka ebera mu kapata katona kali neglected. Even if no pozimba engine yeli very expensive, battery ametwalo 14 ne katika ebere nga terimu.
Of course, I'm going to
tetambula. So, yeah, that crucial part, elimu atinge eli neglected. So, Kampala Central, ye kapata katono nyo kugwanga. Nenga importance yayo, ye yimiliza kwe gwanga. So, olabira dara how things are moving. Nebirimu, olabira dara there is this that needs to be done. First, transport and order. That's what is in our constitution. I'm sorry, in our manifesto. Transport and order. Why transport? We don't respect time here. Chovala wantu bera one meeting olina kubuza African time or whatever time. Mubera ne meeting ya sawa musanvu olina atuka sawa meka. Naye ngo muntu batuka omanyi nasanze ja na mazeke sawa meka. So transport, we have poor means of transport, both in business ntikati esawa zineno. Ekube erisinga okuyingiza ebyamaguzi waneno. Okuve Malaba okutuuka e Kampala. Transport oyo mungi okusinga ebintu ebyo okuva e China oba wherever okutuuka e Mombasa.
Oh,
yes.
Really?
Yes. That shows you how terrible the transport is. Inti ebintu emotoka eziveeyo, emotoka egenda twala almost either nokutwala ne 3 days. Obukubo butono nenga jukira ebyamaguzi ebisinga webiyita ebigenda ebijja.
Of course, Jinja Road bali mu kumugazia bwetwogerera.
Bali mugazia. But then you can see
no kuzimba southern bypass.
Yandibadde nga tuyina ekubo eriyingiza ebyamaguzi nga bwolaba express ng'emotoka ziyitawo zitwala zigenda. Ate ng'ebyo emmotoka kozi zine emmotoka nnene kati wolabira ddala waliyo ekimotoka ekinene. These are the magulu kumi, I don't know how they call them. And then oyinako ne bono obumotoka bagunda abana abatono obumotoka obutono. Nenga these trucks are supposed to have their own route. Nga zitambula mangu zitose ebyamaguzi zitwala ebirala abantu bakole ki batradinge. Naye the roads are narrow, potholes nyingi. Okuva wano okutuuka emukono esaawa zino oyina okupulaninga bw'obugamba ngenda emukono oyina okupulaninga osookosa zimu program ezaawaneeno. How many kilometers are here to Mukono?
Okay.
So that shows you how poor transport system is letting us down.
So in your manifesto, do you have anything like a policy?
Yes, there is. And actually, we'll even thrive on the policy yaliwo. Twali tuyina me when I was at the university, we had the pioneer buses. Abasinga twazirabako mu kibuga. Zili cheap, affordable ate nungi clean. But we know what happened to pioneer buses. Okuizinga transport ne commotion n'akavuyo akakali mu kibuga. Because bogenda mbubuga ebikuzakuzeeko. There should be emitendera. Ntikale kituuka wano kadi buses ziyingire. There is this kind of, because abantu balina okwekisayizinga batambule.
Yes.
Kati okuvanga wano ewandege okutuuka mu town olowooza nti abantu bandirinye taxi. Naye lwaki olina w'otambulira oli agenda kubanga akukonye. Waliko woyina okutambulira ate abamalala we bavugira. Owa taxi agenda walampayo. Owa boda naye ayita oli agamba no what kanenya ka taxi oba ntulamu essaawa 2. It's not supposed to be that. So if we can thrive on that, I'm glad there is Kayora. But we've been having Kayora for how long now? So if you're going to have Kayora and the target is to have 400 buses in Kampala, in how long is Kayora going to make sure that we have those buses here in Kampala?
Okay.
So transport has to be increased. If transport is better, if you see, at least the good thing is into what I really feel bad is into these politicians of ours have traveled. They're always in these countries having summits, having whatever. Seso bila tuwa tukavuge motoka zaabwe. Balinya train. Balinya buses mu kibuga. Wale we bagenda ne bagamba presidents begwanga bagenda ne bateeka mu kabus. Those are the means of transport. transport. Kakati essaawa zino osanga nti bw'ogenda mu mawanga amalala okuva wano kugenda embalala kikutwala almost 30 minutes. But you know what? You've saved time. You're running multiple businesses. Oshitegera. Kati bw'obanga essaawa zino ofunye omulimo ne bw'obanga ogufunya wane e Masaka. You have to move with your family. Abaana obakyusa amasomero, oluusi baawa akolera waneeno, naamwe mukyuse. It's a lot of transition. Ngaye you can actually go to Masaka and come back.
Anti kati awo nkubuuliza, what is it that you're advocating for?
So I'm advocating that we have a public means of transport, the buses. Ngabwe twali tuyina the pioneer buses ngabwe zajja ne bakomenkereza nga zivuddemu kuzizagira ne bazikuba emisoro ne bagamba tizisobodde ne bazipaka nga wali 4 years.
So mukuleta mukubera ne pioneer buses zino taxi oyagala zigobibwe?
No. If you've gone to
because weziri ne wakubadde nti tezikola nnyo ng'ate taxi bwe zikola. Oba ne weesanga nti tezikola nnyo nga bodabodas bwe zikola.
Yes.
Tuli mu free market economy. As a country?
No, kakati olaba wabeerako I would say nti gibeera ng'emitendera. If you've gone, me I will borrow of course something that I've seen from somewhere, for example. Nti osanga nti katugeze okuva mu town okutuuka e Kalere, chiri different routes. Okutuuka e Kalere, okutuuka for example wane ngakamocha abagenda okutuuka different routes. Batekako different stages. Ne bagamba basi zikomaawo. So basi eyo wekoma nekola route nesigala yonga rotatinga. Then nekata okuvaawo nosanga waliwo taxi endala eva katugeze eva kamocha egenda Ntinda ekoma nankulabye nayo ne turninga kosa basabazi we bali they are moving around. Then inofuna endala ezikola ki ezeyongerayo, and that's why you have high accident rates. Why? Because people are driving so long distances. Oli agenda Keera avudde Ejinja aje Kampala. Avudde waka sawa musanvu unaneze ekiro atandika collecting abasaabazi. Agenda tuke Kampala akoye baddemu barodinge addemu atandika addeyo akoye akoze. So if we have those channels into onakoma wano ono nadda waneeno ono nadda wali eri, then it will ease the city. It will also reduce the cost of transport. And then there will be business flow. People can do different businesses in different locations in a shortest period of time. You can supervise your farm in wherever, in Kotido, within 1 hour and come back. But right now, if I need to go to Mbarara, you know, kusoka nkansolinge plans zange za wanezena kunya. Okugende Mbarara okoma waneno. But jukiranta, because of transport. Katogenda taking a bus, emarolu naku. Wotu ukirayo the next day okole byokora. The next day ogenda kubo tomanya na bus jegendera ko inokusoko kwe bagamba wali wayiza kuyita onga sawa manana. Tekuliko ne matendera zine bus zitawo sawa meka. Eri obereyo nga bagamba in every 30 minutes over 1 hour. Train oba bus yitawo. Wali ko channels ngobera ko updating the bus is arriving in 10 minutes. Enongeita ko endare arriving enongeita ko so people batambulira ku time.
Bus obudde bwe zitambulirako. Nitumanya nti okay njagala genda Mbarara kusawa 2 nja kusangawo basi oba kusawa 3 nja kusangawo basi oba kusawa 4.
Buli potulo osimbulirawo.
It depends.
Yes, ebiseera ebisinga. Yes, waliwo nga katezize
nga sawa emu oba esawa emu kitundu oba sawa 2.
Yes, kati waliwo nga global, for example, nalabako global. Kati nga global otuuke ne bagamba basi efunwa musawa emu. Bw'otuula obejjudde batejjudde egenda. Naye nga basi zezisinga. Kati ye bw'agenda nga talina basaabazi abakikola matya. Kati ogenda tuula mu basi otuule mu ssaawa 2, basi esimbule ssaawa 7 ez'ekiro. Talina basaabazi. People are coming. So laba, the other system zero want at least netike zibera nga ziri book. So it helps buli omu business. Amanyo already ndi full people are coming okuyingira tukole ki tugende. So but tukola ku transport, there's so many things you are going to knock off in the whole process.
Okay.
So if we can have a proper transport management system, proper stages nga weziri. Sebino byakufaga yimirira wosansi. Nga proper stages weziri. Ogamba wana yimirira wano station eri wano. Ova wano notambula wali. But I think things are going to move better.
Okay.
And so secondly, on the manifesto is employment and opportunities for the youth. Not only for the youth, I'm saying the youth because the youth make 70% of the population of Uganda. Or even much more.
Nayatebodam Kampala around 20 to 25% are jobless.
20 to 25% out of 100. It's
Kampala Central.
Kampala Central.
Yes.
It's 90% are jobless of the youth.
Abamu balinawo bulimu obutonotono. Naye twogera ku bantu abatalinaako completely.
Bebo, abaana abasinga tebalina completely. n'abakola tebakola. They are just busy.
Abakola tebakola?
Yes.
They are just
busy.
How?
Because ongamba nti mu Kampala, we know the cost of living in Kampala. Ntokola mu company ekuwa mitwalo 2. Kusasula nyumba ya mitwalo 2. Oyina okulya, okukosa transport, weerabire olabire family yo. You take care of all your necessities, services, health wise. Bwolwala oyina okusooka olowoozeka clinic kogendamu. Then ongambe nti you're working.
Do you know government programs?
They are not in place. I think we really don't need that so much because
youth livelihood programs, PDM, emyoga, those are all government programs ezibaddewo, of course okuyambako abantu okujjamu.
Naye ndowooza ezisinga zikozeemu na mu byalo, suubira nti mu kibuga zikozeemu nnyo. Zikozeemu nnyo. Simanyi oba wali abaafuna the youth abali mu Kampala.
Abakulembeze abamu bazirwana.
Kakati, the opportunities I'm talking about is intentional and professional opportunities. Waliwo abaana kati wosanga omwana yasoma nursing. Naye saawa zino eno ayina okukola mudaala gwa chips. Of what importance is education then? Abaana ba engineers. Nze nasoma n'abaana bangi. Most times when I'm talking to them, abana bali balungi abakolanga yes, engineering, mechanical, electrical, neka nkubulire most of them omukubiro yagamba nina faamu just nafunayo sigamba nti faamu kale nafune sente na investing am farming, which is not bad, of course. You have to have other channels so funa mu sente. Nagamba no, nasigala ko nebigana nengamba kangende mbenga nino obubuzi nkankola ki nga neyiya. Abana abasinga bogenda wano mu bizimbe bisinga batunda busimu, batunda biki. Buli omalimu something completely different. Nenga abana performing bulungi, bali balina 20 points. So and then it comes back to of what importance is this education that we're empowering people to take on these courses. Because I want you to look at infrastructure. Which contract jolabye tuina ko entonotono zolabye ko na infrastructure integeza in terms of roads, these hospitals gana manene ntogamba it has been awarded to so and so company by a Ugandan. Nga si politician. Because waliwo echo kubanga ma politician nyina connection in the minister bampadde. No, nga ono engineer jakuguka mu engineer wa manyi bamuwadde a biddings ayisembo bamuwadde omulimu ogwo akole yo contract. So kati you're having all external people, engineers coming to do roads here. And then you're telling us, and each year you're reading for us, we have graduated 10,000 engineers. Of what importance is engineering then?
So is the problem with the education system or it's a mindset? The
problem is the mindset and the education system itself. You know, we have to acknowledge that we didn't have education because from where we came from, education was brought by then the colonialists. And what they brought at the time is what they thought would work for us. So at the time, abantu bali basomi bali batono. Tuyina abantu kati banja abasomye. Can we please have the education system egenda okutwala bana abaana ba competing favorably because olaba tuyina unemployment rate ngeli high. Kubanga abaana basinga balabira waneeno. Alabira mu Uganda kati bwotwala ekiwandiiko kino esaawa zineeno n'okitwala China ngoli engineer wa wano. Oberanga omuntu atasomyengeko. You have to start from scratch and study. So can we please borrow that? Because abantu abasinga, and this is my appeal to the politicians and people that are in power, all their children are in international schools. So how are you mwogera mutabye mwogera ko nga mwete musobola kubiweereza baana bamwe kati bwebanga tekuliko ekitukakatako okumakinga sure nti what you're going to discuss about bino kubanga tupigasa fena
kati tunawo new curriculum era wenjogerera abaana batudde senior 6 guno omwaka bebasembyeyo okukolera mu curriculum enkadde.
And you know also what's wrong with the new curriculum? It stops at O level. And then you have to go to A level.
Yes.
So it doesn't go because funds eziliwo tezisobola kusustaininga okutwala from O level to A level. So bagamba kati let's first cover O level. So you're going to come from O level
because abakulu okuva mu byenjigiriza of course batugumya ne batugamba nti curriculum ya A level eri mu kukolebwako era bagamba nti abagenda mu senior 5 this year because bebatandika ne new curriculum O level bo bajja kusooka bakola enkadde naye after I think a period of 1 year or thereabout bajja kubanga ba rolling out curriculum empya nemo A-level?
You see, I think we just, in my opinion,
because this curriculum nonji eri practical bintu bya hands-on, unlike back then how things used to be in your theory.
Yes, it's good, but my main concern is it's from all level that you go to A level.
Yes.
So you're going to study something because the things carry on. So if you're studying something different in O level, different curriculum, and then you go to A level, and then you start on something also completely different. You get the point? It's completely different. So how are the things going to match? Probably there will be a match. Neka to omwana asomye kyanjawulo mu O level, neka kati atuse mu A level, alinga addamu otandika obukya ekintu ekirala ekipya.
So gwe kyo kyoyagala bakole ku education
system bwebanga bagitaddeko. You know, it's good to prepare enough and present something nga kiwedde. Because you've seen many times nga tukola infrastructure nga sigala nga tukolako at the end of it all nekitwala emyaka meka mingi. So I think it's better for the institutions to plan something. By the time you present it, you have all the package done. Because kakati bolabira ddala nti education tekuli eggwanga erigenda kukula nga education system nga tekola bulungi. Naye nga ate ndena bw'obanga ofocusinga ku bwane waggulu. We need to start back from down. Go back to your villages and look at how those primary schools are looking. How many of those children in those, or pupils in those schools actually make it out from P7? Because abava mu P7 bagenda mu secondary. Bogenda okutandikira wali eri. What plans are you having from the very beginning? So there is no plan on the beginning and at the end. So we are in the middle. So we have no beginning in primary. How is this properly structured? Abana basinga the biggest number. Tebasobola na ku beating the standards as it is set by the institution. Intibasetinga okugenda mu secondary school or kubanga omaze first grade. How many of those in those government schools can actually even make first grade? So that means abana basinga ku primary, they cannot even make it. And then you're starting in the middle and making a plan in the middle, which is not bad. It's good. But can we please package and have education system properly aligned, because it's the basis of building the nation?
Okay.
So you can't only plan in the middle, leave the beginning and leave the end. So the end is left, the beginning is left, and we are dealing with the middle.
Tutambula mpola mpola tujja kutuuka.
Tutambula mpola mpola. When are we going to reach? Probably we will reach.
Sometime.
Yeah, so, yeah, but at the same time, it's great that is where we are, but there's some things that have to be done in the right way. So I think it's time now we take action and do things in the right way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we talk about Kampala Central, do you believe the issues there zetaga policy innovation oba bukulembeze bwe bwetaaga okukyusibwa?
We need to redefine Kampala. We need to redefine Kampala.
How?
We need to redesign Kampala. Kampala itself has no plan. You can ask all the institutions as to what Kampala is to put in a plan. Zeriranga Kampala. Tebalina. And someone can challenge me. We don't have a plan for Kampala.
What do we have? Chichicha tuli mukutambulirako as per 2024.
Olaba chiringa bozimba enyumba waneeno. Nogamba naye nazimba bisenge bibiri naye kati nzadde abaana banafunya abalongo. Njagala buli mwana afune ekisenge. No breaking here. No call extension. Nogamba kakati ate nazala wange banaja yagenda sulawa. Twanditadde guest wing eno. No bomola wali no sembezaayo. So kati yeri mu Kampala. Buya kusembezayo. Kati enyumba teyina musingi. Kati you're adding in bedrooms. Na is the foundation enough to hold? So the foundation of Kampala is not enough or is not strong enough to hold the Tulimujigatako. History of Kampala weri, how it was. Kampala has grown from how it was from the beginning, sustained 3,000 people. Back then, bebateka kechibuga Kampala. 1960s. It was planning for the few, 3,000. Right now, we are about 9,000 people. Those are by the people living in Kampala. But we have more than 2.5 million people visiting Kampala every day.
abajjokoleramu emirimu gyabwe.
Yes, nababo nabo bana Kampala. So naye plan ey'okusustaininga this number that has multiplied teriwo. So we are still thriving ku plan eyaliwo ey'abantu abo batono okutwala ekibuga. So which is very, very unfortunate. So a plan, and it's very urgent that a redefinition and a plan of Kampala has to be designed as soon as possible. Because other nations are growing past us.
Okay.
And then tuli mu kujanjaba tusigala nga tujanjaba ebiwundu. Tetugenda kujanjaba ebiwundu. Assess the problem, know where it is, dig it from the root. Church kuletera ebiwundu or ina infection. Let's treat the infection. Because yagenda kujaka ekiwundu, but we are treating our gulu kuchiwundu. So Kampala has to be redefined in terms of its look, in terms of its layout, in terms of how businesses are done. Wotukira ddala buli omu akulyetinga kyayagala ateka ku kala zayagala botukira ddala ebibuga balo byotuuka munoolabira ddala. There is a flow because there is how the city is supposed to be. Waliwo some colors ogamba we are going with these colors, we are going with this to keep some kind of standard. If you're putting up posters, you're supposed to go by this. Waliwo wechuma, waliwo wa metal, waliwo wa plastic, waliwo ayagala okole
ibi. Nabyo ebyogerwako abakulembeze bavayo ne babirwana ate ngoyagala kujja mu kifo kya bukulembeze.
No, it's time now. It's time now that we are educated. That's a good thing. And they've educated us to be the leaders of tomorrow. And I believe tomorrow is now. It's not further than this.
Usually bwe babawo ekizibu kyonna bannakampala bajjaga government etuyambe parliament ekoze kino parliament ekoze kiri, but we believe ebimu ku bye bakoonako nti baneetwagala nguudo zikolebwe ogwo si mulimu gwa parliament si yeekole.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So awo omulimu gw'omubaka bwe kituuka ku nsonga eziruma bannakampala gubeera guli ludda wa?
And that's where it comes in. Honestly and sincerely, everyone is blaming President Museveni, is blaming whatever, is blaming opposition, or whatever they have done that. But the problem of this country is the parliament that we have that cannot represent this nation accordingly.
I will
tell you a reason.
So that means you're also not going to represent.
No. I'm saying that's why we are coming out. If things were better, we'd just sit, because I also don't want to be in everyone would love their comfort zone. That's why we are coming out, because we're seeing the loopholes. Because I want us to look at the parliament. You know, they're always complaining, Museveni tagenda, go and tagenda. But if there is anyone that has absolute powers on this country, it's the parliament. It's the one which understands the constitution, which is supposed to protect the constitution, and have not done so at all whatsoever. We are going past the constitution. No one is trying so much to preserve our constitution. And again, they have two options. They have, actually, tell me why. They have two alternatives of changing this country. One, they are the members of parliament.
And elected by the people.
Yes. You know, abantu abasinga bagamba obukulembeze ali waguli alina obuzibu. Naye kambubulire omukulembeze wa parliament oba omubaka wa parliament alina asalamu emirundi ebiri.
Asalamu.
Parliament eyina obuyinza okujjako obukulembeze. That's in the constitution. If they are complaining Museveni is the problem, and it's the biggest number, 529. Constitution if the president about acting accordingly, you can front a bill and they will table it, and that bill, if it's passed, again dakuja omukulembeze ali omubuyinza. So if they are complaining themselves, ngabagamba gundi yebuzibu, but they have that alternative, bangate bajikozesa, and then they are also among the people, and then they have to vote again.
Abali ku opposition be batono.
Not at all. I don't think it's the problem.
Bwebanga opposition inaka ababaka 19.
I don't think
NRM inaka ababaka abasoba mu bisatu around 318 or 321 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
What do you expect out of the opposition that are not even half of the population in parliament?
That's what I'm telling you, that we need to have our mind and look beyond political parties, which we are not doing.
Is the problem with political parties or individuals?
People are with individuals, and I think also because probably their constitution, because I don't know how their constitutions are, because probably they're going by their constitutions of the parties. Probably they have that really entangles them, and they have the benefit and the disappointment they cannot give out. So I think people should be given the authority to be themselves. I think which is not happening. So we are now leading by the parties. That's why we see katera abagundi banji naye mu parliament mubeera muntu omu. That's the thing. It's one thing. If it's a bill, it's a bill.
But of course, while otuuka n'obanga olina okufronting ensonga ze constituency yo oba z'abantu b'okiikirira. And we've seen MPs coming to the people nga bagamba ngenda kukola oluguudo luno, ngenda kukola kino. But in actual sense, that's not the role of a member of parliament. But when it comes to issues ezifaanaganako bwe zitunga zizzenga zi arising gwenga yagala okwesimbawo, how best would you solve such chaos?
I have not seen, probably, me I haven't, probably if someone has seen they can tell me, I've not seen any member of parliament representing their constituency having a policy or a bill they table for the interest of their constituency.
Okay.
I have not. Personally, I have not. Probably I haven't checked enough. Probably I will check and see. But I have not seen one.
Computer Misuse Act.
That's a general. That's globally. That's for the whole nation. Sorry. So that's for the whole nation. So issues as it concerned.
Yes. That means I can tunuulira abantu because abantu abasinga okukozesa emitimbagano bali nnyo mu kibuga Kampala.
No, fena tuli Uganda, fena tukozesa emitimbagano bagenda mukyala abantu balina esumba kozesa emitimbagano. But the issues. So what I intend to address the parishes and the neighborhood of Kampala. That at least we should have the parishes or Kampala itself representing what it contributes to this economy. We cannot have people living in such a sorry state, people having no food, people having no housing, and then you're saying these people are in Kampala Central.
What is it that you want to do?
I want to change the life of these people. How? I want us to empower them. First of all, there are so many youth right now, mostly they're the ones I'm going to talk about, that need rehabilitation. Before you can think of even giving them a job. And mental health is something we've completely underlooked. No, and that's the problem here. You see, in whatever mental health is not okugweddalu. There is when you have that breakdown. There is when you have that frustration. When the situation is over you and then you feel you can't contain it. And there are centers that you go to, you receive therapy, they advise you, they do what? Yes. And we don't have that. And I recently met one lady who's doing that, and she's a youth. I was very, very, very happy. Because abantu abasinga tebetaga mu ddwaliro. Era abantu abasinga bali ne butabika nga tebetaga. Bagenda ne bakuba empisa ez'amaanyi. Naye ng'omuntu obwavu bumukubye n'obwongo ne buvaako ayina abaana, talina kyabaliisa, buli kimu kiri awo kigootaanye, ne mulowooza nti mulalu. So if we can address those, rehabilitate those people, advise them, put them back to order, and then emphasize the government to do an inventory for the people that are coming out of school. If you're recording that you're having 10,000 engineers, doctors, please, can we have the record after 2 years where actually these doctors? Because we cannot have doctors working as cleaners and security guards in UAE. Okay. No, it cannot. We must have a framework, and we must have, there must be accountability. They must tell us, as you're telling people, 1,000 people have graduated, please tell us, the 1,000 people that have graduated, they are all employed here and there and here. So we must emphasize and grow big and large industries. If you look at countries as Zukuze, I'll give you examples of Amazon. How many people does Amazon employ? Millions of people. How many people are in Google? So we are really emphasizing people, create these small businesses for survival. We can no longer be on survival. We are not born to just survive. We are born to live and embrace. And
the message President Museveni jali mukutambuza amaanyi kati sawa zino bagatadde nnyo mu industrialization, science and technology. Of course ne programs za government okulaba nti bajja abantu mu bwavu. Era ali mu kugamba abantu oku phasing out subsistence farming. Okulaba nti tujawo hand to mouth. Don't you think message President jali mukutambuza, it's the same message you're also saying joli mukuwa banna Uganda?
Well, yes, exactly. But the thing is, we speak things and stop at speaking them. I think we need to move from theory to practical. And practical is not going to happen if you don't talk about it.
But ebimu ku byo byoyagala okukyusa muba byoteesa bitereezebwemu, are they feasible in a country like Uganda that is still growing?
they're feasible. They're absolutely feasible. But there is mismanagement and misuse and misplacement of opportunities. So we are having people doing things they're not supposed to do, and they're the ones that are mismanaging things.
Corruption ebaddemu ku nsonga ebadde at the forefront when it comes to this country. Buli we tujogerako something to do with corruption comes up. Singa obeera olondeddwa, how best do you think, or how best would you suggest ensonga eno okuba nti ekolebwako singa oba olondeddwa ng'omubaka wa parliament?
In the bid for development, there will always be people that will be a bit feel that they're left behind, and or probably hurt. So we must emphasize that let us have institutions ezeetagisa which can deliver. So bureaucracy mungi, institutions nyingi. Osanga Minister of Kampala, Minister of Kampala on something duties, then KCC on whatever, under KCC there is this, under whatever there is this, and then osanga nti in these channels waliwo omuntu atagenda kusobola handling with all this. What is the best alternative? Nkuwe ya tano mpisewo. Because channel mpanvu ekirala oli afunye sente investors zewaneeno omuntu yewoze mu banka obuwombi bwe bibiri obwa dola aze ku investinga waneeno omutandika genda mu kino genda mu kiri process ewanvuye kati process bwe mala kuwanvu akola ki ngala bagamba linda ko next week omusindikira email bw'omusindikira email yona kudamu email jana kusindi sagira bisake bede email no sanga ekintu esente bali mu kuzibala katolede zitandise okukola walina araba omwaka guweze ali mu process ya ku actually attaining permit okuzimba kwesa sente ze kutakali yegulidde ate nga sasula emisoro agamba you know what kati kanfune no office njiwa maka kadde kamu nze bampiseewo ba plan sina baba muyisaawo tagenda kufollowinga mitendera kyolabira ddala nti by the way we are glad nti tulina wano calamities zilonga earthquakes waliwo ebizimbe bisobolanga wabeerawo omusago amanyi ng'okiraba kisobola n'okuyiika kati bwafuna opportunity eyo jukira nti abadde plan ze ku building in 3 years omwaka guma mumaze nga ali mu chaos esente zigenda gwendo interest weri kasita abafuna chance bwati bwatandika talinga eri gundi ngeyimirire flow esooke kale atambula butambuzi ekizimbe kyaki bamalira kyovola ebizimbe ebisinga bina so many structural issues, so many cracks develop mangu like mold develops, like it's a very sad situation. So institutions zino kendera zibere intentional.
Okay.
They have to sit and tune institutions ziri intentional. Tufune channels zinga ntono. Let's create systems zinga ziri transparent. Apply here, let them verify you, get the feedback, go. It's not go here, bring here. Put to tender, interject. Please bring an objection, let's go to debate. Let's go to court, this one did that. Before you know it, it's 5 years. And nothing has been done.
Tunatera okubanga tunzika show yaffe, but when we can't go without talking about the issue of accountability. And earlier on wayogedde ku integrity, of course, and service. Ebigambo bino mbiwulidde nnyo bantu ab'enjawulo, many candidates. But are there mechanisms that you're going to set okulaba nti you stay accountable to the voters once this whole excitement of the election is done?
Yes, so I've been on ground. I've met quite a few people. So I was doing door-to-door and meeting people. But everyone that you meet, even not the people that are in my constituency, because the member of parliament is not representing your constituency, you're representing the nation on the broader picture. So on the broader picture, buli go sinkana akugamba, abakulembeze okomo kumulaba nga azze kunoonya akalulu. Noddamu okumulaba nga azze mukkanoonya omulundi omulala. There is a huge gap between the people and our leaders. True leadership is simplicity. Wano osangira omubaka nga atambula nga convoy ejaliko gamba n'atuukira newa nga bagamba tetulina sente. Negamba what's really the point? Ngo naana ako approaching agamba mama olaba nina kineno. Tayina yabatandikira because oyita mu security to reach this person. So there has to be, this gap has to be bridged. If we cannot do that personally, by knowing this is the responsibility these people have given us, if you can at least put respect into the people that have given us their vote, at least let us have the role that binds us back.
Tulabyako ababaka abamu nga bateeka offices mu bitundu naye nga mu offices zino tebabaamu. Ennamba ze bawa abalonzi tezibaako. Olumala omulonda ng'ennamba y'essimu ekyuka, how is it going to be with you?
I mean, era n'oboga omuntu agenda agamba, because abantu abasinga minds have already zifudde. Sikulimba. Era n'obwomugamba ekintu buli omu akugamba n'obuli omu kyabadde ayogera. But I can assure you people are different. We are completely different. We've seen it all. So I believe I'm going to do differently.
Okay.
I love being and working with the people and being around them. And I think I've met so many people now saying agamba ndoza Sunday kubide mbade manyi togenda na kungu atobanga ndoza upade ne na becha mugamba what's the problem ngaba singa ngogenda ne batibade wali mu campaign ngola gamba you know kati namba tubawere not at all. It's not that I need a vote, but I need to have a touch with the people. So I believe I'm going to make sure that I have that, because I've been missing that personally. And have a touch with the people. At least make sure that you visit people at least once a month.
Yeah. Jaino kola mu parliament.
Yeah.
Amanye go genda singa kubateeka.
Oh, representation.
Okay.
Because it's the one where we are at worst. We are representing our stomachs. We are in the politics for the stomach. As long as the stomach is happy, we don't care what happens. So it's very unfortunate. So we have to go back to the people. So I need to make sure that my people are listened to. I need to make sure that whatever it takes, and actually I would call even people, let them visit those slums and see. If tables stand, would they live there?
Last but not least, how are you going to be different from the Honorable Member of Parliament who is representing the people of Kampala Central right now?
First of all, I have expertise in whatever I do.
Okay.
I've worked in different industries. I have a flexible mind. I'm open-minded. So I'm always venturing and seeing things. So I have knowledge that I'm bringing to the table. I'm not discussing on something that I don't know. I love making research. So first of all, I will bring ideas that I know that I have made thorough research about and they can work for the people. Secondly, I need to be the voice of the people.
Okay.
Why they cannot? Because they cannot for sure. They cannot reach. Even now when they decided to, for example, you decided to riot, you will be stopped immediately. So I want to be the voice to those.
Okay.
And I will make sure I really do that. Probably actions speak louder than words.
So what's your slogan?
This is home.
No.
So we have to work together. The nation cannot move together. It cannot move forward if we don't work together. We must work together.
Okay. What's your symbol?
It's a candle. It's a candle. We have to light Kampala. We have to light Uganda. We're in darkness. It's time that we need light.
Okay.
So keep the candle burning.
Your parting shots as we end today's discussion.
Thank you so much. First of all, I truly appreciate for giving me the opportunity to be hosted here.
Okay.
You're a princess as your name, so I'm super excited and at the same time honored. To the management and whoever allowed you to give us the opportunity.
Okay.
And then to the people of Kampala mainly, I would like to tell you that we clearly understand the issues that we're facing, and this time around we are dedicated and committed to make sure that we create an impact and change the life for everyone.
Okay.
But then we cannot do that alone. It's not the responsibility of only me as a leader. I need the backup of the people. I need their voice. I need them to speak up. And then we need the advice. To everyone, I call upon the leaders, please let us be that voice. To the entertainment industry, please let us not just take people into drinking alcohol and whatever. Let us also create an impact. Back then, the music used to be live. Now it's more chaotic. So let us create an impact in every way possible. And to our leaders, let us lead with passion, not with cruelty.
Okay.
And to the nation, forgotten my country. We grow together. We embrace each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Miss Phionah. Ngabo way ku social media. Honorable.
Yeah,
of course,
thank you.
Direct TV.
Thank you so much.
nga akaddeko okulonda tekanaba kubanga katoka naye njagala kubebaza. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you so much for those ababaddeko nga mutulaba. Of course akadde tekansobozesa kuyitaayita mu comments ebyokwogerako bibadde biyitirivu nnyo but katusabe Mukama Katonda akkiriza omulundi omulala bwe tunaaba tumukyaziza the questions ze muleseeko nja kubanga ate nze muweereza. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for following always. Show zino zisigalayo gwe atasobodde kubanga ogigoberera yonna yonna asobola okusigala nga ate oddamu okugiraba ku mikutu gyaffe gye mugatta abantu. Links zino tuzirekayo era naawe nosobola okubanga weewulirirako ebiteeso abagenyi baffe bye baba bateesezza. Ensonga y'ebyenjigiriza agikoonyeeko nnyo, ensonga ya traffic mu kibuga Kampala nayo agikoonyeeko nnyo. So kansuubire nti onoowaayo akadde okuddamu okuwuliriza ebigambo byayogedde because sisobola kubiddamu naye ate bw'oddamu n'owuliriza osobola okutegeera ensonga enkulu gy'asinze okubanga akoonako. Kale akadde ako bwe kaliba katuuse mumulabiranga ddala bwe mubanga munnange mutuusizza okulonda atugambye akabonero ke kando. So nno bw'atyo bw'alabise amakya g'olunaku olwaleero. Njagala kubaagaliza olunaku olulungi ate tusinkana omulundi ogujja. Mweraba.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.